0 o'clock Kawhi played in all 4 practice games before the Olympics. He said he felt great, and his coaches thought so too. Then, suddenly Team USA kicked him off the team. They said Kawhi agrees that USA Basketball and his team, the Clippers, decided it's best for him to spend the summer getting ready for the new season instead of playing in the Olympic Games in Paris. Oh, so his knee must have hurt again, right? Are we sure about that? Why didn't they say that in their announcement? Also, Kevin Durant got hurt even worse, and he's 0-33, didn't even touch a basketball while Kawhi was playing. But he got to stay. Oh, and by the way, the Clippers came out and said, Team USA is lying. This was not something we decided together. We wanted Kawhi to play. So somebody is not telling the truth, and we are finally getting some answers. I mean, it was weird when Kawhi said he wanted to play. How could a guy who didn't even finish the basketball season play extra games? No way. There's no chance. Well, there are 2 reasons for this. First, it was a full 3 months between Kawhi's last game and the Olympics. 108, plenty of time for him to get better. Second, Paris is special. Several guys wanted to play for the first time, like Stephen Curry. LeBron missed 2016 and 2020 but came back for Paris. So Kawhi wanted to play too. Plus, it's not that hard. I mean, you play like 20 minutes and score 12 points. So he showed up to camp, said all the right things, but 2 weeks before the games got cut, Team USA says it was a decision made with the Clippers, and Kawhi understands. But then the Clippers bosses fought back, saying it was USA Basketball's choice, and 144. I was honestly very upset with the decision. Kawhi wanted to play. We wanted him to play. There was no problem with his knee. What they are saying is a total lie. So reporters asked the head of USA Basketball, Grant Hill, and it got even more fishy. We just felt that we had to change plans and not to get into the details, about what went into the decision, but sadly we have to move forward. The way that you are asking this makes it sound like you guys sent him home. No, I mean, we did 222. I mean, in the end he was sent home, but we were talking with the Clippers about that. So that is not true, and I don't want to get into the details of the decision. What details? I mean, if it's just his knee, that seems pretty clear as a detail. He is dancing around the truth. So to replace Kawhi, they go with Derek White. A huge shock because finals winner Jaylen Brown is just sitting right there waiting for the call. This brought up the first theory on what really happened. Jaylen immediately tweeted, "Hey, Nike, is this 255? What we're doing?" And you might have already heard this idea, but the way that it connects with Kawhi now is crazy. So Nike has a big say over Team USA as a main sponsor. Not only is Derek White a Nike athlete, Jaylen is not. But Jaylen has problems with them. In 2022, Nike dropped Kyrie after all of his drama, and Brown said, "Since when does Nike care about doing the right thing?" And whenever he wears Nikes on the court, he physically removes the swoosh. Kawhi is also not a Nike athlete, but he used to be. Kawhi was on Jordan Brand back in the 329 day, but he switched to New Balance in 2018. And while making new designs, Nike sent him a stop it letter over the Kawhi Claw logo because Kawhi designed it himself. He figured, oh, I own this, but Nike had copyrighted it 1 year earlier. So Kawhi sued them, and here are the actual pictures used in court. On the left is a drawing Kawhi made in college. And I know this is funny, but I do get Kawhi's point, right? I mean, the idea is his N styled with his initials. Nike just made it look prettier. But guess what? The judge ruled against Kawhi 408 and said that Nike had full ownership over the logo. So because of this fight, people said Kawhi's out, KD is in. One wears Nike, the other wears New Balance. Simple as that. But that's not true. If Nike actually cared that much, they would have blocked him from making the roster to begin with. Another theory is the Clippers did make this happen. Sure, they deny it because they don't want to make Kawhi mad, but LA's moving into their new stadium next year. It is up to Kawhi to get them to the playoffs, especially without Paul George. But I don't think for 39 that the bosses would have fought back that hard. I mean, the GM basically called Grant Hill a liar and made it into a much bigger deal than it had to be. Why would he risk that? I mean, all Grant would have to do is show the proof of them making the decision together and they get caught. But what about LeBron James? For years, Team USA goes to their players for advice, and in the past, Kobe was the leader of Team USA in Tokyo. It was KD. But LeBron put this team together. They 100% went to LeBron about this to ask about Kawhi, for example. In 1992, NBA 519 players went to the Olympics except Isaiah Thomas. Magic Johnson said nobody on that team wanted to play with Isaiah. If you went strictly on how good they were, then Isaiah should have been chosen, but who is saying we need this guy? Nobody. Michael Jordan got blamed as the guy who kept Isaiah off, but that really isn't fair. It was everybody. We all understood the friendship wouldn't be the same. Does that not sound exactly like who was saying, do we need this guy? Obviously, they don't. How many main players can they have on this team? 551, they have KD, they have Steph, and we all know last minute of a game, it's going to be in LeBron's hands. So instead, when Kawhi is not even good for team friendship either, we all know that. They said, let's get a role player in here to balance things out. And all you have to do is look at Grant Hill's later comments to the newspaper. The job I have is to put together a team, and a team that works well together. A team that fits. A team that will give us the best chance for winning. At no point does he mention Kawhi's knee and he can't 625 because the Kevin Durant injury would make it seem so unfair. I mean, why would he go to Paris because of politics? KD has a chance to win 4 gold medals, which would be a record for men's basketball. He's also USA's all-time leading scorer, and last Olympics, no stars wanted to go to Tokyo, but KD stepped up and won gold. And obviously keeping KD was the right move. I mean, KD was amazing against Serbia in game 1, but his calf strain was the same injury that caused an Achilles tear on the Warriors. Why let that slide but not 659 Kawhi? Well, Gilbert Arenas says because of all of this proof, no one's going to say it out loud, but we know what really happened with Kawhi. Grant Hill's whole speech basically said he got cut. Yeah, it didn't sound like Kawhi decided to leave, and it didn't sound like, yeah, we decided we were going to go in a different direction means he's not a good fit. He's not a good fit. And Kawhi didn't have the friendships to overcome that. If this was about injuries, Kevin, Durant would not be there, but he has spent years making friends with 733 players off the court. He was on USA Basketball. Kawhi is more of a loner. He's like that guy on the team bus who's really talented but doesn't really hang out with anybody. So when they asked players like LeBron, nobody fought for Kawhi Leonard. It's sad, but USA Basketball has always been about politics, and they used his knee as an excuse to get Derek White, the role player that they actually needed. But we have already wrapped up another tournament this summer with the new NBA draft picks. We learned a ton from Summer League, and 803, sadly, one big name looks like he might already be a failure.